Before you scroll, listen carefully. This is not just a story. This is a mirror. If you've ever felt ignored, underestimated, or treated like you don't matter, this story is for you. Because sometimes the people who say nothing end up saying the most with their lives. This is the story of a boy everyone ignored. His name was Arav. He wasn't the loudest in class. He wasn't the funniest. He wasn't the most talented. He didn't have the newest shoes, the latest phone, or a group of friends waiting for him every morning. He had something else. Silence. And silence is a place most people don't know how to survive. Arav sat in the third row of the classroom, near the window. Not because he liked the view, but because no one else wanted that seat. It was far from the chatter, far from the groups, far from attention. When teachers asked questions, hands shot up. Arav's never did. When games were played, teams were formed quickly. Arav was always the last name called, if called at all. Sometimes he pretended to look busy so they wouldn't ask him to join. Sometimes they didn't ask at all. At lunch, he sat alone, not because he liked being alone, but because no one saved a seat for him. You know what hurts more than being bullied? Being invisible. No one notices when you're hurting. No one notices when you're trying. No one notices when you're fading. Arav learned something very early in life. If no one is going to look at you, you stop trying to be seen. But what no one knew was that Arav was watching, listening, learning. While others laughed loudly, he observed quietly. While others talked about dreams, he built one silently. While others chased attention, Arav chased improvement. He didn't complain, he didn't explain, he didn't argue. He focused. Every day after school, he went straight home. No friends to hang out with, no parties to attend, no distractions waiting for him. Just time. And he used that time like it was gold. He started reading, not because someone told him to, but because books didn't ignore him. He started writing, not because he was good at it, but because paper listened. He started learning skills online, watching tutorials, practicing for hours. Slowly, the boy who had nothing started building something. Months passed. Nothing changed at school. He was still invisible, still ignored, still the quiet boy near the window. But inside him, a storm was forming. A storm of discipline, a storm of growth, a storm no one could see. One day, the teacher announced a national-level competition, a creative problem-solving challenge. Students had to submit a project that solved a real-world issue. The classroom exploded with excitement. Groups formed instantly. Names were shouted. Plans were made loudly. Arav stayed quiet. No one asked him to join. He didn't ask to join either. That afternoon, he went home and opened his old laptop. He didn't complain. He didn't feel sorry for himself. He started working. Every night, while others scrolled through social media, Arav worked. While others slept, Arav researched. While others talked about what they were going to do, Arav did it. Weeks passed. Submission day arrived. Students walked in proudly with colorful charts, printed reports, group presentations. Arav walked in with a simple pen drive. Some students laughed. Did he even make anything? He probably copied from the internet. He doesn't even talk. What would he make? Arav said nothing. The projects were evaluated. Days passed. Then the announcement came during assembly. The principal walked to the stage with a smile. The winner of this year's National Creative Problem-Solving Competition. The hall went silent. Is Arav Mehta. For a moment, no one reacted, because no one believed what they heard. Then whispers filled the room. Which one is Arav? Is that the quiet boy? Arav walked to the stage slowly. For the first time, hundreds of eyes were on him, not because he tried to be seen, but because his work forced them to see him. He had built a simple, low-cost water filtration prototype using household materials, a solution that impressed national judges for its practicality and innovation. He didn't win because he was loud. He won because he was focused. That day, everything changed. Students who never spoke to him suddenly wanted to know him. Teachers who barely noticed him praised him. People who ignored him clapped for him. But Arav's reaction surprised everyone. He smiled politely and went back to his seat near the window, because by then he had learned something powerful. Attention feels good, but growth feels better. After that day, Arav didn't become popular. He became unstoppable. He continued learning, continued building, continued improving. He joined online communities, took free courses, practiced coding, built small projects. He failed many times, but no one saw those failures because no one was watching him anyway, and that was his advantage. He could fail quietly, improve privately, grow silently. Years passed. School ended. Most students went on chasing the same things they always chased. Validation. Arav chased mastery. At 22, he launched a small tech startup solving affordable water purification problems in rural areas. No investors believed in him at first. No big support. Just him, his laptop, and the discipline he built during the years no one cared. One article about his work went viral. Then another. Soon, organizations started noticing. Grants came in, partnerships formed, and the same people who once ignored him saw his face in newspapers. They shared his story proudly. See, he was in our class. We knew him, but they didn't. They never knew him, because while they were watching each other, Arav was building himself. Here's what most people don't understand. Being ignored is painful, but it's also powerful, because when no one expects anything from you, you are free to become anything. No pressure to impress. No need to perform. No distraction from drama. Just you and your growth. Arav's success didn't come from revenge. It came from focus. He didn't prove people wrong by shouting. He proved them wrong by improving. And that is the quietest, most powerful revenge life offers. One day, Arav visited his old school as a guest speaker. He stood on the same stage where he once stood nervously as a winner. He looked at the third row near the window. The seat was still there. This time, a different quiet boy sat there. Arav smiled. He didn't give a motivational speech. He simply said, "If you feel invisible, don't waste your time trying to be seen. Use that time to build something so powerful that one day the world has no choice but to notice." The hall was silent, because deep down, everyone knew someone like that. Or maybe they were that person. Listen carefully. If you are being ignored right now, if people overlook you, if no one notices your effort, you are in the most powerful phase of your life. Because this is where distraction is minimal. This is where growth is possible. This is where legends are built quietly. Don't beg for attention. Don't chase validation. Don't explain yourself. Focus on yourself. Learn. Practice. Improve. Repeat. Let people underestimate you. Let them ignore you. Let them think you are ordinary, while they think you build. Because one day, your results will speak so loudly that explanations will become unnecessary. Arav was never special. He was just focused. And focus, applied daily, is more powerful than talent that seeks applause. So the next time you sit alone, the next time you feel invisible, the next time you think nobody cares, remember Arav. Remember the seat near the window. Remember the pen drive. Remember the boy who said nothing and achieved everything. This is not just a story. This can be your story. If you stop trying to be noticed and start trying to be better. Thank you for watching Paths of Hope. If this story touched something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear this today. And if you're that quiet person building silently, I want you to know something. Your time is coming. Stay focused, stay patient, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.